Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the entire council, I'm here to represent all of my colleagues in expressing our deepest condolences, but support for all of the officers and their families and their colleagues and their friends who have died in the line of duty. On April 4, 2010, I was working as the director of the Recreation Department. And after that morning, there was a news report that an officer, Hector Ayala, had died in the line of duty while responding and addressing an incident that had happened in Wheaton, not far from the headquarters of the Department of Recreation. The year before that, I had actually met Officer Ayala briefly, and I remembered that meeting because he had a son named Junior who was the almost exact same age as my son Paul. And at the time of his death, his wife was 7 months pregnant, expecting triplets. I will never forget how profoundly sad I felt in that moment when I learned of his death. And I remember attending that memorial service and being struck by the incredible brotherhood that is in law enforcement, the support that his family had received from law enforcement officials up and down the East Coast who had come to pay their respects to Officer Ayala. I remember how profoundly sad I was to see his family and selfishly think about my own. At the time, I had 3 kids. And think about how fortunate I was that that same night, I was going to be able to kiss them goodnight and play baseball with them the next day. Opportunities Officer Ayala was never going to be afforded again. And I remembered feeling profound resolve to do everything possible to recognize his sacrifice. And so a year later, working with Chief Major at the time, we renamed the Outdoor Aquatic Center in Wheaton, just about a block away from where he lost his life, in his honor. And I remember meeting his family through that very emotional and difficult and hard to imagine time, and being struck by their resilience, their strength, and everything that made Officer Ayala the officer that he was. And so I come before you today to certainly represent my colleagues and our entire community, expressing our deepest appreciation for the selfless sacrifice of our officers, but I also come here today to once again reaffirm that as an elected official, as a leader, we need to do everything possible to support our officers. That means making sure that they have the resources that they need to be able to do their jobs. That means making sure that in our rhetoric, we acknowledge how challenging these jobs are on a good day. These are complicated times, as we know. But I want to end with this. I am optimistic about where we go from here, because I do feel that while we have been through tumultuous times, we've been through tumultuous times before. And we often come out of them stronger. As long as I'm on this council and as long as I'm breathing on this earth, I will scream from the hills my deepest appreciation to all of you for your service, for your sacrifice, and for your support of all of us. So thank you. On behalf of my family, thank you on behalf of the residents of Montgomery County, and thank you on behalf of all of my colleagues. Thank you.